Hello, it's Emma here from emmaashford.com, and in this video I want to walk you through my 4 steps for overcoming imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome refers to the feeling that you're going to be found out, usually for not belonging or not being capable in some way. Now, it's usually thought of as part of an experience at work, so something you would experience in the workplace, but actually it can happen in all sorts of different environments. So, for example, a yoga class, in a group of friends, even in a mother and baby group, for example. And researchers suggest that up to 70% of people experience this at some time. And actually, a lot of the people that do experience it are very high achievers, people who are at the very top of their field. So I think that's actually very reassuring. You know, we're not the only ones who feel that sometimes. It's actually a very common experience. So at best, imposter syndrome can make you feel really quite uncomfortable in whatever situation you're in. It can contribute to feeling stressed, it can contribute to anxiety, but at worst, it can stop you actually from progressing in your life. It can stop you from taking up opportunities that you otherwise would. So, here are my 4 steps for overcoming imposter syndrome. Step 1. Accept the thought or feeling rather than trying to fight it. So, it's a hugely common experience to experience imposter syndrome. So, it's a complete waste of time to just wish you didn't have it, or worse, to beat yourself up for having it. So instead, just try to notice that you have these thoughts or feelings and treat them as no more than just an annoyance. Because what you have to remember is that just because we have the thought or the feeling, it doesn't mean we have to be affected by them. It doesn't mean we have to consider them as important, and we certainly don't have to consider them as true. So you might say to yourself, oh, that thought's here again. I know you're there, but I don't have to take any notice of you. And then just try and continue with your day as if it wasn't there. And what's really important to remember is that nobody else knows that you're having these thoughts unless you tell them. You can choose to tell them if you want to. If you want to keep them to yourself, you can. But nobody else knows that they're there, so you can continue to act as if they're not. You can continue to act as if you are confident, that you are feeling more capable. Step 2. Try and acknowledge the value that you bring to everything you do. Because you are a unique human being. No one has exactly the same set of skills, personality traits, values as you do. So because you are so individual, you will always have something to contribute, no matter what situation it is, even if that is just to be willing to learn. So just simply commit to doing your best, to just being who you are, doing your best, and being open and willing to learn. Because often imposter syndrome can make us quite defensive and can make us so frightened that we'll be found out that we put up barriers. But actually, if you can try and drop those barriers, be open and honest and willing to learn, that will get you the best results. So step 3, be careful about how you talk about yourself to other people. Because when you experience imposter syndrome, it can mean that you're quite likely to put yourself down when you're talking to other people. You kind of criticize yourself or make out like you're stupid or inferior. And therefore, people can change how they treat you. They might change what opportunities they would offer you. So just simply try to be aware of how you're talking about yourself to other people. Try and just simply say thank you if you're given a compliment. Try and say things like, I'll give it my best shot, and I'll give you a shout if I need any support. If you're asked to do something, say a little bit out of your comfort zone. So it's kind of backing yourself in the way that you speak to other people. And then step 4 is take stock of compliments. So again, when we're struggling with imposter syndrome, we're drawn like a magnet to anything that could be perceived as critical or negative, and almost so far that we almost look for things that are negative, and read into things and look for problems. But at the same time, we kind of repel any positive compliments, any positive results that we get, because they don't quite fit with the expectation we have for ourselves. So, what I would really strongly suggest is that you make a folder on your computer, or you go and buy some nice stationery and make an actual physical nice folder. And make this kind of your hub of positivity. And every time you receive a compliment or some nice feedback, or you achieve something, or you're congratulated about something, just make sure to document it in your folder in some way. So you can do that anywhere you want to. It might be that you take screenshots of things that come in electronically. You might jot things down on a post-it note. You might hold on to documents. It doesn't matter how you do it. The most important thing is that you do it. And start it today. Start today. Because when you are only looking at half of the information, you can't get a full sense of yourself. So you need to balance out these negative feelings with an ability to remind yourself of all the amazing positive things that happen and the positive things that people say to you. And the key thing is to keep looking back at that folder. So it's okay having the folder, that's great, but you also need to keep looking back at it and reminding yourself, giving yourself that boost. So just to recap then, the 4 steps to overcoming imposter syndrome. Number 1, accept the thought or feeling rather than try and fight it. Number 2, try to acknowledge the value you bring to everything you do. 3, be careful how you talk about yourself to other people. And 4, take stock of compliments. And I just want to leave you with this quote. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, handsome, talented and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be?